I am here to be live for this episode of the Onyx Path News. Welcome, hello, good to see all of you again. Well, I know I can't see you, or can I? Am I looking through your window right now? Am I there with my bookcase right behind me? Did I bring it here? Am I able to teleport it as if on a floating disc? Possible, but unlikely. My name is Matthew Dawkins, and I'm here with the Onyx Path News once again to tell you about some of our recent releases and also to tell you about some of the things we have upcoming. As always, I like to go through books we've released over the last couple of weeks and crowdfunding campaigns. I know it's been a couple of weeks since our last news episode, but this week I have an exciting one because this week we have the Scion God Backerkit campaign currently running. It started off last week, that's when we launched it, and within a matter of a handful of days, we hit 200% funding. We are now over 1,600 backers, and I have to say that has exceeded expectations in a very short amount of time. I often give a bit of a behind the scenes look, a peek behind the curtain, if you like, of books we expect will do well, books we expect might struggle. Obviously, we never expect a book to fall flat on its ass, otherwise, we wouldn't release it. But when you have a book that is the, I guess, fourth in a sequence, it's the third in the sense of hero, demigod, god, but it does come after Origin as well. So, Origin, hero, demigod, god. You expect a certain diminishing return, hopefully not lethally so. Uh, so to see God do so incredibly well within 1 week, it tells us a couple of things. One, that we were right to take a risk on using Backerkit for our new crowdfunding experience. It doesn't mean we will always be using Backerkit, of course. We're using Backerkit as our entryway crowdfunding vehicle for this campaign. Who knows what we will use next time? Will it be Kickstarter? Will it be Indiegogo? Will it be Backerkit? Gackerkit? It could be any number of things. We need to gauge the success of all of these platforms, see how they do, see how they serve us, the kind of reach they have, that sort of thing. But yes, it turned out using Backerkit was a good idea. Plus, it has shown that the Scion fans are as fanatical as we always knew them to be. Scion fans, they love this game, as you would expect. That's why they're fans. And so a lot of people have been champing at the bit. That's it, it's champing at the bit. They're aspiring writers out there. It's not chomping at the bit. If I find you writing chomping at the bit, I will take you by the reins and pull you off in red lines. Not like that. But anyway, so yes. Scion God, the fans are doing wonderful work backing this, talking it up, hyping it, and that's something you can do as well. If you are really interested in Scion, if you want to get into it, then get more people into it. Share the link to this Backerkit campaign. Get more people involved. Talk about it. Talk with your local gaming groups. If you have a friendly local gaming store, see if they would back for multiple copies. We do have a pledge level that allows them to do so at discount. Yeah, there's lots of options available to you. And as the, I guess, overseer of Scion, quite high, as in I have oversight in the same way that Satellite has oversight of what's going on inside your house. That's to say, not much, but I know if the house blows up. I did have a chance to read the Scion God manuscript before it got to this stage, and I'm very happy with it. I love the content. I love the fact that it's dealing not only with high end powers, real godly roleplay, but it does so in an elegant way that's fun to play, that doesn't feel over encumbered or over abstract. I think that latter one is an interesting thing because when I consider how you might run or play a game where you literally have the power of gods and can alter the world with a capital W around you, being a god is really quite it's a massive undertaking and it's difficult to conceptualize. And so having a game that actually enables you to do so in a way that makes sense, I think, is probably the greatest asset Scion God has. a game that allows you to play a god and still feel like a god without everything just suddenly becoming more and more difficult for you to either imagine or play through. So yeah, I'm very pleased with it. As always, we are releasing parts of the manuscript as the campaign goes on. So if you back now, start reading it early, and by the end of the campaign, you will have read the entire book. It looks like we've got some comments as well on our live feed. Velvet Tea Cake says, "Hey, happy Monday, all." Happy Monday to you as well, Velvet Tea Cake. Qualia Redux says, "Good afternoon, and thanks for putting They Came From Beyond the Grave on sale." That's right. That's very good. Thank you very much, Qualia Redux. I can indeed tell you that They Came From Beyond the Grave is currently on sale. The link to the sale is down below, much as the link to Scion God is below. Right now, you can buy They Came From Beyond the Grave, the core book that is right next to me, for $2. $2 only, which is a bargain. It's honestly a bargain. It's a ridiculously low cost. But the reason we're making this, selling this product at such a ridiculously low cost is because it's our 10th anniversary. We are reducing everything to a tenth of its regular price at a various point during the year. And this month is They Came From month. We've done They Came From Beneath the Sea. We are now on They Came From Beyond the Grave, which means you can buy it for $2. You can buy the Jumpstart, which many acclaim as the best Jumpstart we've ever released, The Haunting of Abiam Priory. I think I've got it here. Yep, there you go. Which is a wonderful Jumpstart written by Kat Evans that I've never encountered a single person yet who has played it and not had a ridiculous amount of fun with it for less than $1. So you could buy the core book and an adventure for it for less than $3. So do that. Do that now. Do it before the day is out, because this sale will not last for long. By the end of the month, we will be on to another game, and your They Came From sale ship will have, well, sailed away. So we have actually got more They Came From news to discuss too. The StoryPath Nexus, which is our community content program for StoryPath games, has just opened up to They Came From Beyond the Grave and Camp Murder Lake. What does that mean? Well, it means you can create scenarios, you can create archetypes, you can create scenarios based on public domain horror movies, you can create cinematics, quips, monsters, whatever you like. You can put them in a PDF, and we provide you with the tools for laying these PDFs out, the templates. We provide you with the art packs that you can get from our website as well, of the StoryPath Nexus, again, all linked below. And you can populate your book as that way. And it isn't something you're just giving away to people. You will be making money from every sale of these books. So far, I'm aware of 2 Beyond the Grave community content books that have already come out. There's They Came to Get You, Barbara, which is a Night of the Living Dead homage. It is based on Night of the Living Dead. It is how to play Night of the Living Dead with They Came From Beyond the Grave, complete with alternate endings, different ways of playing the characters. That one's by an author by the name of Zach Naldret. And there is also, now, I think it's They Came From the Pits of Hell. Now, do forgive me if I got the title wrong there. That's by Chris Jones. This is the They Came From Beyond the Grave sourcebook that will allow you to actually play the monsters. If you want to play vampires, werewolves, Frankenstein's monsters, witches, what kind of world of darkness are we living in here? You can do so with They Came From the Pits of Hell. Those are both available on Drive-Thru RPG or the StoryPath Nexus right now. And every time you purchase a copy, portion of the sale, I think 50% goes to the author. I think a percentage also comes to us, Onyx Path, and a percentage goes to Drive-Thru RPG for hosting. So it's a good deal. It's a good way as well, if you're an aspiring author who wants to get into writing role-playing games, to get your name out there. We've hired a lot of people. Hell, I mean, I hired Zach, actually, whose name I just mentioned, who did They Came to Get You, Barbara, based on the strength of Zach's community content work. More than anything else, it acts as a proof of concept. It doesn't mean your book has to sell millions or anything like that. It's just, we can review this content and say, hey, this person knows how to write. And that is a pretty good way of getting your foot in the door. So do consider it. Anyway, with Beyond the Grave and Camp Murder Lake available on the community content, I'm sure all of you who are horror fans, which is going to be a lot of you, have got ideas for how you would turn your favorite horror movies into adventures for Beyond the Grave and Camp Murder Lake. So now is a good time to do it. And as I say, all the templates and art assets are available for you to use. So, what else do we have here? Jonathan Daly says, Aloha from Maui. Aloha to you. Just got my Demigod book last week and I backed the God campaign. Good for you, Jonathan. Velvet Tea Kick says, I got it with a Kickstarter I backed, but $2 is an unmissable price. That would be They Came From Me on the Grave. I agree. So it isn't all Scion God. It isn't all They Came From. Last week, we happened to release a rather impressive book, and I don't want people to miss it with all the other explosive work that's going on around here. In fact, not even last week. I think it was the week before. It was Masks of the Mythos. So it's another Scion book. It's a Scion book that you can use in conjunction with Origin and Hero that enables you to play the children of the gods of the Lovecraftian mythos. With, I guess, the expanded Lovecraftian mythos, I think would be fair to say. So, yeah, if you want to play a child of Nyarlathotep, if you want to be a child of Yog Sothoth, if you want Cthulhu for a daddy, and if you want Hasta to rain hell down upon you because you've not been doing your chores, then this is the book for you. Mask of the Mythos is not only a fantastic game because it pairs up the urban fantasy of Scion with horror of Lovecraft so beautifully, it's also a wonderful book to look at. It's one of my favorites for art. I think the art in this, and you can probably imagine the kind of art you're likely to see. Again, Lovecraftian horror. Certain people have certain images in their minds when it comes to elder things and Shoggoths, Cthulhu, and the family. So yeah, do check out Mask of the Mythos. It is linked below. This is one you may have already backed. I think we did a Kickstarter for it a while back, but if you haven't picked it up yet, do get a copy. It is just a wonderful game where you have to bear the burden of being a child of an alien entity that wants to destroy the world. So yeah, have fun with that. So otherwise, let's see what else we're getting in the comments, because I think that pretty much covers all our releases. And in fact, I'll have a read of the comments. If you've got questions, now's a good time to ask them. Elderos says, hey, loving all the Scion goodies. I do too. Jonathan Daly says, I only backed the Scion Dragon part of that campaign, but I'm very excited to introduce dragons in a Scion game. Good. Scion Dragon, another fantastic game. Preston Bobo says, honestly, more love for Story Path is fantastic. Scion, Aeon, etc. Such amazing material. Yeah, I mean, you can't say we have been slow on creating Story Path product. When I first got into role-playing games, of course, you have companies, White Wolf as well, especially, that would release books on a pretty steady churn. When I first got into Vampire the Masquerade, you would have a new source book pretty much every month, it felt like. And so I think that led to a lot of people feeling like but that companies were too slow, that I want to feed my role-playing game habit, but where are my source books, that sort of thing. Well, as I point out frequently in this Onyx Path news, we release a new product every single week. It's not always for the same game, because that would saturate the market. People wouldn't be interested. No one would keep up. We wouldn't make money. But we do release a new product every single week. And when, as Preston has mentioned, we have Scion, we got Aeon, we got Aberrant, we got They Came From, we got Dystopia Rising, we got Legend Lore, we got Scarred Lands, we got our various World of Darkness games, Chronicles of Darkness games, and more, that gives us a lot of flexibility and a lot of inspiration to start creating new books, release them. And it means that without fail, for I don't know how long now, we have released a new product every single Wednesday, which is no small thing in today's market, I can tell you, but somehow we manage it. So not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but I'm going to do it because it's one of my proudest thing. I'm only a small part of the overall machine, but I'm very proud to work so dedicatedly to a company that is always getting new ideas out there. We are always being creative. We're always being inspired to be creative, both by each other who work at Onyx Path and by the fans, the customers, the role players who buy our games and give such wonderful feedback about them. So thank you very much, everyone who has always been leaving comments, leaving reviews on DriveThruRPG and elsewhere, leaving ratings on DriveThruRPG and elsewhere. And remember, if you play one of our games, if you enjoy our games, just post about it somewhere online. If you've got Twitter, Twitter's probably the best place. Twitter is a wonderful place to just say, I've been playing They Came From Beyond the Grave recently. Such a fantastic RPG. 10 out of 10. Here's a link where you can buy it. Boom. That's it. That's all you have to do, because someone might see that tweet. Someone who has never seen it before, they might buy a copy, and then they may feel compelled to tell other people about it. The greatest resource we have for getting our books out to other people is you. Our reach is going to be as strictly as limited as our finances, our online and awake time can allow. We spend most of our time making these games. So if you can tell your friends and your contacts, your acquaintances about them, then that helps us a huge deal. So let's see, what else do we have here? Preston Bobo says there was a new movie called Glorious that is amazing inspiration for Mask of the Mythos. I highly recommend it. Glorious. I will check it out. Thank you. Velvet Tea Cake says hardest working writers in TCRPGs. That's right. We are. We work damn hard. We do work hard, in fairness. You know, it's easy to be for false modesty to come out. But we work very hard to keep getting products out. And it isn't just the writers, it's the artists, it's the editors, it's everyone who forms part of that Onyx Path team that is, you know, we have to pull in the same direction. And sometimes that's very difficult to do when you're being a creative type, because your ideas may not jive with that person's ideas, and you have to come together. You have to either reach consensus or say, okay, you win this one, I'll win the next. But the point is, the fact that we're able to get a new product out every Wednesday means that something is working here. And yeah, again, that gives me a great deal of pride. Michael Diamond says it takes a lot of work to move as fast as Onyx Path does. Huge credit to them. Yeah. Jonathan Daly, I remember seeing you back in the day when you were the Gentleman Gamer, and when you joined the production team. Thanks for all your hard work. I am still the Gentleman Gamer. In fact, brief Onyx Path aside, if you are a Vampire the Masquerade fan, do check out my channel tomorrow, Gentleman Gamer, because you will find 2 new videos that might excite you, Vampire the Masquerade fans, appearing on my channel roughly simultaneously for a good reason. So yeah, do stay tuned. So the last thing I want to talk about before this Onyx Path news runs out is Onyx Path Gaming Night coming up this Friday over on Start.Playing. It is linked below. The game of the month is They Came From, as we have mentioned, as the jumpstart for the Haunting of Abbey and Priory currently costs less than $1. We are strongly encouraging people to run games of it. It now is a fantastic time to run or play They Came From for the first time. So go over to Start.Playing, sign up. If you've never done They Came From before, please consider doing it, because the only way you're going to learn to play new games is to give it a go. And I know I say this every single time we do this news, but you do not have to be an expert. You do not have to be experienced. You don't even have to be confident to run one of our games. All you have to do is advertise that this is a game for new people being run by new people. We want to learn the game together. That is the catchphrase. I used to do a lot of training. That was my job before I was a full-time writer. I was a trainer. And the thing that I often had to drill into people's heads, like a dentist with a grudge, was that you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be honest about your lack of expertise and your willingness to become one. And what that means in a gaming sense is you don't have to be an expert GM. You don't have to be experienced. You just have to say, look, I'm new to this. Can I learn this with you? Can I learn how to run this for you? Can I learn how to play this with you? And you would be amazed how many people are waiting to hear another person say that. Because most gamers will actually enjoy sitting around a table, virtual or otherwise, and just talking about their characters, talking about the game they want to play, learning about how the system works, and maybe only getting an hour worth of gaming in at the end of it. That is part of the communal gaming experience. It's why role playing is as popular as it is for the people who do it, people like us, because it's a chance to speak to each other. It's a chance to for escapism, and it's a chance to discuss these things that we love so much, these role playing games. So this Friday is Onyx Path Night on Start Playing. Go over there. There is a link below. You can set up a game to play. You can find a game to run, or vice versa. And I do hope you do, because this service that's being provided is for you, the fans, the customers, the role players who aren't necessarily in regular gaming groups. You know, not all like me with my 7 or 8 games, separate games a month. Anyway, so we've got some sunglasses and a my goodness in the comments, and I think that is a very good time to conclude. I've done my proselytizing. I've stood on my soapbox. I've said, run your games, damn you. And I hope that at least one or maybe two of you decide to give it a go. It's easy. Just advertise yourselves as new and looking to learn. That's the only trick you need. Anyway, with that said, I will be signing off. So thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all again, well, next week with any luck. And if you come over to my channel tomorrow at around 3 p.m. BST, you will see me again then too. Bye-bye.